Good evening. Good evening. We'll be starting shortly. It's 6:30, so we're going to be starting shortly. I hope everybody's having a great day. One day before the election in Georgia. I hope you hear me. We'll be starting shortly. I understand that it's running, so I'm looking. It's running. Thank you. Again, I hope everybody's having a great day. We're going to be getting started, and it's going to be quick and short. Won't be long. Give a little information, especially for the voters here in Georgia. This election is very important. All elections is important, but this election is very important. And so I'm going to be sharing it for a few minutes, and then if you don't mind. We are going to be getting ready. I'm just finishing up a few little details. Okay. Hi, my name is Demita Chapman, and I'm with Citizens for Excellent and Elected Leaders. And today is a great day, but tomorrow will be a very great day. The first is election tomorrow, May 19th. People that hadn't already early voted will be voting tomorrow. So this is a few things that I want to remind people. Voting starts tomorrow from 7 to 7, depending on what areas in. It depends on how long the lines, whether the polls stay open late. But from the voter registration is from 7 to 7. Be prepared for the long lines. Bring your water or your snacks, comfortable shoes. Anyone that's in line, after you get in line, can't nobody bring you any food or water. It have to be 150 feet away from the polling. Anybody that don't make it tomorrow will be going into a runoff. Or let me say that. Any other winners tomorrow, if you don't get 50 plus one, you will be going in the runoff. Typically in the states like where I'm from, Ohio, it's the highest go the voter. If I get 15 votes and the other one get 14, I'm the winner. But in the state of Georgia, it's 50 plus one. So I know people is saying, oh, we can get 50 plus one, but when you have so many people in the race, I try to keep it real. It's no way that you're going to get 50 plus one. So we'll be having runoffs. So here's some of the important on the local level right now, and then we go to the federal. On the local, we have Fulton County Commissioner Chair, and it's 3 people in that race. We have 5 people in Fulton County District 5. That's a commissioner seat, District 5, that's up. We have 5 people in that race. We have 4 Democrats and 1 Republican. Uh, if the Republicans pull the Republican ballot, then they will vote for that particular person or a nonpartisan, because you have a nonpartisan ballot, you have a Democrat ballot, you have a Republican ballot, and you have an independent ballot. So it depends on what's on that ballot and the way you vote. But we do have 4 Democrats running plus a Republican that's running. The Republican that will wait until whoever makes it tomorrow, maybe someone will get 50 plus one. And if not, then they're going to the runoff. And whoever is in the runoff will face the Republican challenger in the November general election. We have another race that is the city of South Fulton Council seat, District 3. It's a total of 4 people in that race also. That race is very important because whoever gets that race will be uh, filling the term of the council person that left that seat. Uh, so we have to make sure that we get the right person in that seat. Uh, Matter of fact, you just need to get the right people in all the seats. So we're not going to single just that. I believe that anybody that's running for office, they have to have a, I believe they should have a servant's heart. I believe they have to love the people and they got to want to do the job. And so that seat, that district, City of South Fulton Council seat, District 3, will be on the ballot. Everybody will not have that on their ballot. That's only residents that live in District 3. And that's some of the Cliftondales area, all the way over to the Welcome All Park area. In that area, District 3. Then you have Senate seat, District 28. You have 2 people in that race. You have 2 Democrats that's running in the against each other, but you also have a Republican challenger that will be running in the November election. You have House seat District 62, you got 65, you got 68, you got 69, or we can do it even better than that. All the House representative seats are up for grabs. I'm only going to talk about the ones over in our area. Um, 69, 68 have people running in that race. I think it's maybe about 5 or 6, I'm not for sure. 69, I don't think it's none in that race. Uh, 65, and I'll do it this way. Representative Lydia Glaze seat. She's the only one running on the Democrat side in her seat. And she will have somebody that's running against her in the November election. Pay close attention to that. Representative Robert Dawson, because some people don't understand, they don't know the House seat, so I'm going to call the representatives out. Representative Dawson don't have anyone running against him, but in the November election, he do have a Republican running against him. District 62, that seat was vacated for someone that was going to run on the higher office. So you have, I think, 3 people or 4 people that's in that race. Um, and that cover like the East Point area, the Midtown, downtown. So keep an eye on that. You have Senator Donzella James' seat that is up for grabs. And she has someone in the Democrat side that's running against her, and a Republican running on the November ballot. Let me say this, and I do it this way, so I have to go. Everybody that's on the ballot, they will have a Republican running against them in the November election. So now we have Senator Howard. You got people running against him. He ran and filled a vacancy, so now he have to run again. He had people running against him. You got Senator Kemp. Nobody's running against him in the Democratic primary. So in that, you have your school board that's on the ballot. You have referendums that's on the ballot. Is 6 referendums. Your judges is on the ballot. The state court, they're all on the ballot. Some don't have any people running against them, but some do. And so pay attention to that also. I'm going to say this. When you go into the ballot box tomorrow, go from the top of the ballot all the way down to the end of the ballot. You have public service commissioners that's on the ballot. So just make sure that you exercise that. Don't go in and just vote for, oh, I'm finna vote for this governor that I want or the secretary of state I want, and I'm coming out. I'm coming out. Please go all the way down the ballot, because although that our top people is important, you also have the local people that's running. You have these judges that is very important. It is very important for us to get the right judges in these seats. Some of the judges has been on the bench, and so you have people that's running against them. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. Only thing I would tell you is make sure that you go all the way down to the ballot box. Then you have on the ballot box, you have Secretary of State. I'm finna go and look at my phone so I can make sure that I can pull all of the ballots up, because what I found out, people be asking, well, who's on the ballot? Where do I go vote? Make sure that you know where your polling place is. During early voting, you could go anywhere and vote, but tomorrow you got to go to your voting precinct. Example for me, if I vote tomorrow, I would have to go to the Clifton Dales United Methodist Church, where in the past it was at Clifton Dale School or it was at the Enon Church. Every year it changed. So make sure that you know where your precinct is tonight. You can go pull it up. Make sure you know where that's at. Also make sure that you have your license or a picture ID or something with you. So when you go to vote, you won't be turned around. That is very important. Tomorrow on the ballot, you have the Secretary of State, you have the governor on the ballot, you have the lieutenant governor, you have um, the commissioners, you got the House representatives, you got the Secretary of State. And so please, please make sure you know what you're going to do when you go in there. Another thing that I want to stress to people is, our elections, and I'm not talking about everybody election. I can only speak about our elections. During our elections in the in the city of South Fulton, and I'm gonna say just the surroundings, is crazy. It's crazy. That's why you need to know. Then you have another race that's going to be taking place in Fairburn, and they're going to be deciding on the council seat over there. The difference between Fairburn and Fulton, South Fulton, Union City, East Point, College Park, the city of South Fulton, the difference between them and us is the highest voter over there wins. They don't have a runoff. So in that race tomorrow, it's 3 people running in that race. So whoever get the highest vote tomorrow will win that particular race over there. So we want to wish everybody over in Fairburn good luck. It's been challenging. Not going to go into all what is taking place over there right now. That's neither here nor there. It's about what the decision the people are going to make tomorrow. And what I often say is your vote counts. Some people say my vote don't count. Yes, your vote do count, because tomorrow, whatever decision you make, you got to live with it. It doesn't matter. What I often tell people is, and I'm going to stick by what I say. I know sometimes I get criticized because I said this, but I'm going to stand firm on it. And one thing about me, I don't straddle the fence. We got to stop voting people in because they're black, because they're white, because you went to school with them, because you go to church with them, because you belong to a sorority or fraternity or any organization or church. Everybody that you went to kindergarten with don't need to be on your journey. And what I've seen is we have took this election process just like we're in high school. Well, she's my friend. I'm going to vote for her. When you know your friend is not right, when you know it, but you continue on supporting that friend just because. And we often talk about the people that's up in the White House. We talk about President, I'm going to use this. We talk about President Trump. I have to, I might not like the way they do things, but I'm going to always respect the position. So I'm going to say President Trump. We often talk about what President Trump do, but let's face it, we do the same thing, we just do it on a different level. We do the exactly same thing. The only thing different we do, we sometimes throw rocks and hide our hand. They don't throw rocks and hide their hand. They just let you know what they're going to do. We're going to have to take this voting thing very serious. because you can see what took place down there in Tennessee, where they carved all those districts out. And I know people talking about it ain't got nothing to do with the voting, the issues, the lines. That's for me to debate that. And I know people going to inbox me and tell me you were wrong for saying that. It has something to do with the voting. When they stripped that power down there in Memphis, they stripped it. They didn't only do it there, they doing it in Alabama. They do they're doing it in the red states, you guys. And so we have to have a plan. The Bible say if you don't have a vision, you will perish. And right now, if we ain't getting it together, we gonna perish. And so we have to have a plan. It's too late to talk about, well, this and that. It's too late because the election is tomorrow. But I stand firm on what I believe in. It shouldn't have never been 7 or 8 or 9 Democrats running for the governor's seat in Georgia. What are you doing is you're splitting the black votes. It shouldn't have never been 2 or 3 in the other race. I think that you should have just went in the room, and I'm going to keep saying it. You should have went in a room, had a plan, and come back out. And then you had people that gave up seats. They literally gave up seats to run for a seat that Stevie Wonder is blind and he know they ain't gonna win. I think that would. I think it was selfish. I'm gonna use the word selfish. If I know I cannot win the governor's seat, I'm not going to put my name in there. Some people that ran for governor or is running for governor, they barely won their seats, the one that they was in. Barely. Now, how you think you going to take the whole state of Georgia? Come on, come on. But we have to put our egos aside, you guys. We got to stop thinking about us, and we got to think about everybody. And I think when we start thinking about everybody, I think we can move forward. We got to put all that BS aside, and we have to think about the entire Democrat Party. Then we had people that got in the race and they were running for this race. People told them to get out of that race and to run for another race. And I'm going to go on and just talk about it because tomorrow's election. I was disappointed when I saw that the commissioner, former commissioner, was running for uh, the chairman commissioner. Next thing you know, she was paraded all down in my neck of the woods. And they don't show up until his election, okay? And we paraded her. Then she turned around after another candidate was already in the race. She jumped ship out of that race and put herself in this race. Why did she do that? I know some people might not say it, but I'm a type of person, I shoot straight from the hip. I don't sugarcoat it. You know why she did that? Because let me put my name in this race because I am a white woman and a black woman is running for that high office. So when we go to the ballot box, let me pull them votes. That's what really happened. People need to pay attention to what's really going on. Then you have people jumping from race to races. Some people ain't even been stayed in in a seat maybe less than a year. Now they running for something higher. I always tell them the street committee talks and they tell everything. The street committee already got it. They're setting the platform so they can eventually run for the mayor of Atlanta. Y'all better pay attention. We too caught up into, oh, that's my friend. Pay attention. And when you start paying attention to all your surroundings and all the players, then you'll put the puzzle together. It's a big old puzzle, you guys. It's a big puzzle right now. And the pieces is going in places. You got to know the puzzle. And I often tell people you have to know how to play chess because tomorrow night they got it planned that they're hoping tomorrow some people can go in, knock all the pawns out, knock all the rooks out, knock the bishop out, get the queen, and go checkmate. That's their plan. You got to know how to play chess. Right now, it ain't time for us to play checkers, you guys, because someone asked me, Jamita, why you feel this way about a candidate? I said, this is my rationale. We have to look at the big picture. The big picture is the November election. It's all good for us to win these primaries tomorrow. Then you got to go in the runoff. And then whoever make it to the runoff got to go to the primaries. To the general election. You got to have people that you know going to be able to stand up to the general election. Right now, you can see on the TV how the other side is fighting against each other because you know they got that money, they got that power. So everybody fight now. Don't y'all get caught up and miss it and get, I call it distractions. We got to sit down and have a vision and a plan because let me tell you what will happen. If we don't get Georgia right in November, I don't care how many inboxes you text me and how much you say, I don't know what I'm talking about. They done showed us what they gonna do. Believe it. Believe it. And then I can't, what I don't like, I don't like people to straddle the fence. They'll say one thing and they'll do another one. Anybody in their right mind that this election is taken out, not just in Georgia, but across the United States, Project 2025 is in full play in effect. They playing it out. Instead of us paying attention to Project 2025, people didn't want to talk about it. People said it was a game. I fought, now I'm going to say this, and if anybody want to challenge me or come and talk to me, I fought the community leaders, and I fall in that. I fought the Democrat Party because some talked about it, others didn't. I fought our clergy. They should have been talking about that Project 2025. It was a few. Now I'm not going to say all. It was a few that stood firm on it, but others didn't. I don't like a lot of show and tell, you guys. Anybody that know me know I'm about the business and fighting. I don't like a lot of show and tell. I say this just like all these black preachers in Georgia that put on them black suits and them white shirts and them black ties and them hats and marched the streets to take a photo op. They should have been talking about Project 2025. They should have been talking about that. But some talked and some didn't, and it fell on deaf ears. Now it's here. We have to educate our people. Some people just they don't get it. They just don't get it. I sit back and I try to give the information out in my organization, and I sit back and sometimes folks don't want you to deliver. They want somebody else. They ain't gonna believe you, but they'll believe Miss Sally. And you done told the same thing with Miss Sally, but they don't want to believe you. But that's okay. We all in it together. We gonna have to ride this out together because whatever's gonna take place in November, it's gonna affect all of us. It might not affect my household, but it probably gonna affect some family member households. We have to make sure that we educate our people. And I'm going to say it. I think even the Georgia right down here in Georgia right now with our election, I think the Democrats they failed the Democrats. I'm going to say it. I think they should have been out doing what they do. And but sometimes we get caught up in I'm not going to do this because that's not my candidate. Right now, it ain't about a candidate. It's about us sinking or swimming in November. If you ask me today, Demeter, how some races gonna play out, I can call them, but I'm not. I'm just sitting back waiting and I'm just taking notes. So we're gonna have to do a much better, I believe, in that. Uh, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna talk about these uh, reforms on the bottom, referendums on the bottom. It's a shame you barely even heard anything about them referendums on that ballot. And when I went into the ballot box and looked down, it said a Democrat referendum. I think the Democrats should have been pushing that, talking about that, sending people out to discuss what it was about. People ask me, what it's about, Demeter? Didn't hear nothing about it, don't know nothing about it. That's where we fail our people. Lack of communication. Some people you're not going to get, but once you put it out, it's out of your hand. And it's off of your hand. We have to do better. What else? Your attorney general is on the ballot. That's very important. It's so much on that ballot. Study your ballot tonight. People that hadn't voted, and I'm gonna pull up some numbers. Early voting, it was a good turnout, I think. But let me show you some numbers that I've been watching, and I thought it was very very strange uh, on those numbers. This was the breakdown of age difference. This is in Georgia now. 18 to 29, 31,000 plus voted. That was only 4.5%. 30 to 39, 36,000 plus, that's 5%. 40 for 49, 56,000 plus, that's 8%. This is just a breakdown. 50 to 64, almost 185 per thousand. That's 26% in that age category. 65 and plus, 55.5%, very good. That's your seniors. Almost 390,000 had cast their votes so far, breaking down the age. We got to do better getting our young people uh, educated on how this process works. I think we have to start early going into the schools when it's time for them to register, uh, getting them acclimated with that. It's so much we can do to make sure that we get the vote out. We need to get the vote out, the GOTV, that's get the vote out. We need to start that. After this election in November, we need to have things in place to get that started. We shouldn't have to wait till an election to start because elections is nonstop. Next year is the president election, nonstop. And on that next year, you're going to have all your state judges that's going to be on the ballot and your people like that. And so we have to make sure that we educate the people uh, in that aspect. It's so much that we can do. It's not no blame game. Is what we can do as people. We have to come together as one. Uh, this group over here don't want to mess with this group because they trying to outdo that group. This group trying to outdo that group. This group trying to outdo this group. This group don't want to be bothered with nobody because they want it on their little island. We have to stop that. We have to stop that. We're going to have to come together. Because one thing I can say about the Republicans, they gonna fight, they gonna do whatever they want to, they gonna talk about each other, but guess what? When they come out, they got a plan and they come to execute that plan. And they come out, they're gonna have a candidate that they're going to back. Now, this is just me and some of the candidates tomorrow that's on the ballot. I think they were just put in the races for distractions. That's just me. Some of these folks ain't did no campaigning. You don't see no signs out. I think it's all a distraction. And we're falling for the distraction. That's just my take. And you have people that's been doing some great work, but tomorrow it's all on the line. November is on the line. I hear people say, uh, I'm getting tired of them saying that they gonna take y'all back. Ain't nobody taking y'all back. Hmm. Is that your opinion or my opinion? Everybody got an opinion. But I do know if it wasn't something, they wouldn't be working so hard to do what they do. Let's talk about redrawing the lines. And our representatives, I think they had to go back in session or they going back in session. I've been out of the loop with that because I've been kind of under the weather trying to take care of myself. But the governor is calling them back about redrawing these lines. I heard him say the other night on television, you don't know what's going to happen until we sit at the table. Fulton County have 159 counties. Well, Demita, how you know that? My organization, if you look behind this banner and you see Citizens for Excellence and Elected Leaders. Behind this, on this banner in small letters, is every county in Fulton County, and that's 159 counties, where they're going into session to deal with only 5 counties that's going to redistrict. I don't want y'all to miss that. It's 159 counties, but they're only going in to talk about 5 counties. What counties is that, Demita? That's Fulton County, DeKalb County, Clayton County. It's 2 more. It's on top of my tongue. But it's 5 that they're going to talk about. Those are just about all Black counties with Black representatives. Will Governor Kemp, do what he do? I don't know what Governor Kemp would do. Only thing I know, Governor Kemp is on his last leg. This year is it for him. He's going out in January. So whatever he do now, between now and January, he gonna do it because he's out of there. I hope and pray that he do the right thing. But I found out you just can't put your trust in some of these elected officials. When you think you're going to trust them and put all your trust in them, they'll come back and cut you just as quick as you blink your eye. I don't trust none of them. Those folks say they got a split across their mouth, and their mouth will tell a lie. Simple as that. I can't say it. No, I don't trust them. Although I want to trust them. But they'll say one thing when they're on the election. I'm for the people. I stand by the people. This is the people's seat. This is y'all seat, and I work for you guys. And whatever y'all tell me, I'm gonna listen. But once they get elected, they do what they want to do. It's been proven. It's been shown. You ain't got to keep showing me. You show me. You might have to show me twice. But on that third go round, you ain't got to show me none. So I don't know what Governor Kemp is going to do. All I know is when they go down to the Capitol, that they're going to be talking about those 5 districts. Those 5 counties. Anybody remember when, and I use this as a example, when we first moved here in 2005, maybe about in 2006 or 7, they had 7 commissioners on the commissioner board. They only had 2 on there that represented the South Side, and the other 5 represented the North Side. And I remember late Tom Lowe. Oh, he would get there and he would talk, and when he would say things, and he meant what he said. Whatever he said he was going to do, he was going to do. And I remember one conversation that he had. I laid in the bed and watched him one night, and he said, ain't nothing never going to be no good down there on that South Side. He talked about the Shannon Mall, how it was great. I don't know how great it was because I didn't live here. He talked about how great it was. He said, look at that Shannon Mall over there. It ain't nothing over there. Ain't nothing going to be down there in the South Forty. I paid attention to him. And so what they did was they got together and they wanted to redraw the lines. Remember, it's only 2 representatives that was representing the South Side, and that was the late Emma Darnell and the former Commissioner William Edwards. Just 2. So what they did, they came in and they carved out and put Emma Darnell and Bill Edwards against each other. And what I like about them, they stated that they were not going to fight each other because they knew that's what they wanted them to do. And so when they carved it out, that means now they didn't carved everything out. So now the South Side now only have one representative, just one. That's why people need to understand and know the history. When you're on a board and you have seven commissioners, two on the South Side, five on the North Side, you got to go in there and work across them aisles because you'll never get nothing done because everything that's happening is being represented on the North Side. So I understood when Commissioner Darnell and Commissioner Bill Edwards, they did what they did. I understood because if they didn't work with them, we would never have nothing because it was 5 against 2. An old man told me when I worked on the board, was on the board, he used to tell me, Madam President, 4 votes beat anything, any time of the day. So what you need to do, you need to go in there and work with your board members to get your 4 votes. Once you get your 4 votes, don't worry about it. But don't sell yourself out for the votes either. That's what we can't do is sell ourselves out. So right now, that took place with Emma Darnell and Bill Edwards. Then maybe a year and a half ago, or maybe 2 years ago, they went in and redrew the lines again. Now they took Senator James out of District 35, put her in another district, in District 28. Now she lives down in District 35, but they carved her out. So now she's no longer our senator. She represents up in Cobb County, Douglasville, Mableton, Roswell. I mean, not Roswell, but the one next to Mableton. So they carved her out. So now this is what they finna do in when they go back in the session. Pay attention. I don't care how much you guys say it's not going to happen. It's going to happen. So that's why we need to stay engaged. We need to have town hall meetings. We need to have educate the people. That's what we need to do. And then we need to stop letting elected officials use us to get their vote. And once they get their vote, they go on. We have to stop that. It's all right to have give them collard greens and chicken, but sometimes the collard greens and chicken ain't even worth it. It's not worth it. And then we're going to be wrapping it up during this election, which is tomorrow. People on the ballot, they have showed you who they are. They have told you who they are. Don't be sold out for nothing. Please don't be sold out. I used to hear Reggie Tatum used to, and we would go back and forth with this. He would say, you know, Demita, all these elected officials that we have in our community, and they represent us, but our communities look the same way they look 15 and 20 years ago. Me and him used to argue about that. He used to say, I can't understand how they talk about having the Martin Luther King uh, streets, and they the nastiest streets in America. Well, I told him I went down to Florida and they were pretty clean down there. I used to argue with him with that. Now I sit back and I say, he might have had a point there. You sit in these seats and you do nothing for the people. Oh, yeah, you talk a good game. You tell them all the good nothings and promises to get their vote, but you don't do nothing. That's what killed me. You don't do nothing. Some of the folks, once they get elected, if anybody getting off, some of them getting elected tomorrow. Now they've been calling my house and blowing my phone up, sending me texts and all kind of emails, and I've been talking to some. After tomorrow, I'm just gonna keep it 100. I might not even have a conversation with none of them again until it's time for election year. That's what they do. We have to stop selling ourselves out. Our democracy is on the line. Nobody should play with your democracy. I mean, nobody. You have elected officials going, I didn't saw it over the last maybe month how they have just been trying to buy folks' votes. And I mean, folks falling for it too. They falling for the okie doke. They take a carrot and just dang in front of them, and everybody falling for it. Be careful of these elected officials when they want to come and parade and say some certain things and give you certain. That's just buying votes. I said it. I'm going to say it. I know they did some street naming, and what I'm going to say about that is Senator James. She absolutely deserved that. Them churches, some of the churches, they probably deserve it, but they didn't deserve it right now. The timing was wrong because it was more people that should have been addressed. And I know they probably gonna say, "Oh, she just talking." Let me tell you, you got Pastor Walter Kimbrough that fought for this city, was a pastor of Cliftondale's United Methodist Church, Cascade Methodist Church. Let me tell you, a man that's 80 some years old. Matter of fact, I talked to him before I went up to Ohio, and we're going to be getting together. He should have had something. I'm just going to tell you, he should have had it first. Don't wait till I die to want to talk about how you love me and how you want to read the proclamations out and give me the signs in the street. I can't smell it, I can't see it, and I don't want it. I already laid it out to my husband. I want none of it. Let's do what's right. Everything don't have to be political. If somebody came to me and asked me, Demeter, I want to name something for you because you fought for cityhood, I would say absolutely not. It was more people that fought for cityhood. Somebody texted me. So it was more people that fought for cityhood that should have been recognized. That's all I'm saying. And in closing, whoever wins tomorrow, I'm going to say good luck. Remember the people. I will say tomorrow that the Fulton County Commissioner seat will go into a runoff. The city of South Fulton will go in a runoff. District, the seat will go in a runoff. Too many people in the race. Early voting elections tomorrow. Early voting, the runoff will start. Let me tell you when the runoff will start June 8th through the 12th. The primary election is June 16th. You mark your calendars for that. When I'm gonna leave this with you guys, and thank you so much. I just want to just get on here and just give you a little. Make sure you know before you go. Know who's on the ballot. Know what is on the ballot. Know when to vote. But just know before you go. Whoever wins and go on to the runoff or just straight out win tomorrow, I can't speak for no other organization. I'm only going to talk about Citizens for Excellence and elected leaders. I don't want you guys to take the thing personal, but we will be holding you accountable. We're going to hold you accountable. This is not a friendship. This is about the business. These seats that you're running for don't belong to you. It belongs to the people. So get you some rest. Good luck over there in Fairburn, East Point, College Park, the state of Georgia, Ohio. Everybody that's voting tomorrow, good luck. Make sure you know before you go. And so, in that, uh, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. But I want to say congratulations to all the graduates that graduated this week or will be graduating from college, high school, preschool, middle school, whatever. Congratulations. But I'm gonna give a shout out to the city of South Point. You know, we can I call us crazy down here, but I still I love y'all. Even when we crazy, I still love y'all. But let me tell you, we got some smart kids coming out of Langston Hughes, Westlake, Creekside, and Tri-City. I'm going to give a big shout out to not only the kids, the teacher, but most of all the parents because it take a village. Thank you guys. I want to say good night.